Hi, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Badcast, where I and I'm up here talk with Brada and Ketty to talk about Batman, the animated series. And this week's episode is Catwalk. How you doing today, sir?
All cats walk by themselves is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Every cat walk by themselves.
Every cat walks by themselves. Yeah, that doesn't quite work. As I said, this week's episode is Catwalk is the 74th episode produced, and it is the 83rd episode to air, airing September 13th, 1995. Remember what you're doing September 13th, 1995?
I believe that I was listening to Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio, which was the number one song on the charts at the time.
Yes. How old are you when you in September of 1995?
5 years old. I started my
Yeah,
rap career early.
I was like 2 months away from being like 15. And this episode is directed by Boyd Kirkland and written by Paul Dini. So yeah, it's another good episode written by Paul Dini, and suiting that was a decent Catwoman episode. And
I would
yeah, and as I say, sorry, go ahead.
I would have thought that Catwoman and Scarface team up episode would have been something on the roster for this show, but yeah, I mean it wasn't awful. It was just okay. Like
Yeah, yeah, definitely a team up you probably wouldn't have put up on the on the whiteboard. Be like, all right, for this season, what team ups do people want to see? All right, Two-Face and Joker. Okay, sure, that could work. Cat, Catwoman and and Scarface.
you want to see
Yeah, sure.
Bane and Ragdoll. Do you even know who Ragdoll is?
So how did this episode start off? I've actually now that I'm thinking about it, I've forgotten how this episode starts.
The episode starts with Selena at a museum,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and
All right, out there.
yeah, she's looking at a bunch of extinct animals that are, put off of this exhibit. And she's got this like kind of monologue going on in her head while she's like looking at the animal and just comparing herself to the dead feline. And she's like, "Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? I know what it's like to go extinct. I know what it's like to, have my freedom taken away, to be locked in a cage. Like really, really going for this, like kind of domesticated animal kind of metaphor." And I'm just like, and like very exaggerated retelling of when Batman captured her, because like even the imagery is kind of like kind of dream sequence.
Oh yeah. Then I met him. Yeah, she wasn't blonde before, right? Like she was only blonde in this episode.
No, she's been blonde in this, but when we get to the revamp, that's when she's randomly a brunette with a pixie cut.
Oh, okay, because I think I was that initially threw me off, and then when Veronica came over and she mentioned something about it too, then so I was wondering if that was like a reference to that as well, because I didn't remember her being blonde in the other episodes that she's showed up in, because she's been in at least one or two episodes before
Yep.
this one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Uh,
telling about like how, like it's, awful, like, and she has this kind of nice kind of topic where she's bringing up the fact that, like it's wrong that animals have gone extinct and stuff like that, and kind of swings that in Veronica's direction when she and Bruce Wayne meet up, and Bruce Wayne is still trying to he's still trying to score a date with her, and it's like he just can't accept that she's not into the rich playboy persona.
And I keep on forgetting, does this version of Catwoman, or at least at this point, know that Batman and Bruce are the same Brown car? I couldn't remember if that got out to her or not yet. So I couldn't remember. Yeah, so that and I thought her thing was plants, not animals. That was the one thing that threw me off in this episode. Because like,
What?
why is she, like, like, no way, Catwoman. I'm thinking, damn it, and I was thinking fucking poison ivy this whole time. Fuck,
Is that why
I'm
you were
dumbass.
thinking
Never.
that she had red hair?
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, but okay, never mind. But as soon as I said that, I was like, okay, yeah, that's but yeah, I was for some reason I was thinking it was poison ivy.
Do
So
you need
never
a
mind.
coffee,
Okay.
man?
Yeah, yeah. This is why I usually do these episodes in the afternoon. Yeah, but okay,
Okay.
never mind.
That's all good. I can relate.
All right.
Yeah. Says the guy who, like, a couple episodes ago couldn't remember what, like, the third element of four was. Yeah, so Selena's kind of getting socialized up by Bruce, and he introduces her to Veronica, and she's like, "Oh, I've never met you before." It's like you don't know who Catwoman is, like like I get that you may be a little like dense in terms of high society, but like you should know about a person like this. Consider she robs people like you, and she's about to.
Yeah, but in a city like Gotham and like where there's like Joker and Two Face and stuff like, do you think Selena Kyle being Catwoman makes like front page news, or do you think that's like page like 7 or 8 in like
I think it makes
Catwoman's
front
content?
page specifically for that costume.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I worked in print, man. I know what sells newspapers.
I don't know, but I don't know, like yeah, I would think that they know who Catwoman is, but like, but I always feel like the rich are always like somewhat out of touch of like reality. So like, yeah, like they may know who Catwoman is, but like I'm with the delusion that they're saying that like, not like all not everybody would know who. Yeah, that she is like necessarily Selena, but I did think it was odd though that yeah, she was as comfortable at a party with Commissioner Gordon, like, and I was gonna say like that this is why I was confused. Like I wasn't sure if she knew that Bruce was Batman or not. Because you were saying like being there at a party with Commissioner Gordon and Bullock and Batman. But I was like, does she know he's Batman or not? Yeah. So yeah, so at least like she's at a party with the three of them being comfortable. Yeah. So and then I was like, okay, maybe she's actually trying to be on the trying to be on the up and up at least.
I think to a certain degree, she's been trying to see if she can, kind of play it straight. But even like kind of trying to, again, going back to that kind of animal metaphor she was kind of going with is like she's tired of being tamed. She's tired of like, being told like this is what you're allowed to do and this is what you can't do. She's always been like about freedom and pursuing what's like in what she believes is right, and also like the adrenaline rush of it all. Yeah, and she
Yeah.
gets talking to Veronica, who is like, Don't you think it's wonderful that like my great grandfather, like led animals to extinction, and they got like the dodo, the Tasmanian tiger, like all very real extinct animals, by the way." And she's like, yeah, he hunted them down until there were none of them left. What a hero. And she's like, how dare you? She's like, you asked me what I thought. And it's like, haven't you learned? Rich people don't want to hear what you actually think unless it makes them feel good.
Yeah, they just want you to agree with them. Yeah.
Yeah, so she says to the Bruce's she's on her way out. He's like, that was really rude. He's like, well, I'm tired of like treating people like I can't tell them what I really think. So I'm out. Bye. And she says, like,
Peace.
I feel like I don't belong anywhere here.
Yeah, you gotta like pretend like that you're not a vigilante like me. You can't get caught.
Yeah.
This is a one vigilante party.
Yeah. You just have to become a rich white guy like me. So that's when she's going to hail a taxi, and all of a sudden, before the taxi gets to the curb, this limousine cuts her off, and all of a sudden, this big guy who is Rhino from the last Scarface episode is like, "Your ride's here, Miss Kyle." She's like, "What's a big idea?" Throws him in the back, and that's when we're in this shadowy kind of introduction scene where Selena's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Dummy, put on the light." And of course, it's Scarface.
Yeah, like he's got the light's not on. He's trying to make it seem like a little scary. Yeah, and, and even in the dark, I don't think I'd be scared of that voice. I don't think.
Well, even Selena kind of laughs when she like sees him. And he's like, "What's the matter? What's so funny?" He's like, "Oh, come on, what's so funny?" Kind of mocking the puppet thing.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say like I think that Scarface would probably be like low in the totem pole of the Gotham super villains. I think because I don't think the rest of them would take him too seriously, and I think that definitely proves it. I think.
Yeah,
Guess I think that'd probably be like the general reaction to him. I think for most of them, because I yeah I don't think I'd be scared of him myself even. I don't think.
yeah. By the way, what did you think of the animation style on Scarface in the his episode? Because it's definitely they're making him feel more alive than he was in the last one.
No, yeah, I did notice a note on that it's like the animation house that they sent this one to, I guess, didn't quite realize that he was like a puppet, so they gave him a little more movement than he should have and
Yeah, even
stuff.
his eyes are kind of like,
Yeah,
making more
yeah,
expressions and stuff.
his face has a little more expression on it and everything, yeah, than he usually does, yeah. So, but I didn't. Yeah, again, didn't quite pick up on that, but as soon as I was watching it, but as soon as saw that note, like I was like, yeah, okay, I did notice that it was a little more movement than usual. But as with a cartoon, like I'm kind of down for like it's not like out of the ordinary for it to have like when he's like working it for it to have like a bit of movement and stuff, just maybe just to try and sell like the emotion and stuff of the certain words, scenes and stuff, maybe. But even though it was a little weird, like I didn't find it necessarily off-putting, really. What do you think about that? Yeah, even though it's a bit of an accent.
I thought it was like a little. It drew me in a little bit, but then also they have that kind of dynamic where, uh, even they keep reinforcing the idea, even in chats and conversations with the ventriloquist, where it's like we are establishing that they are like like two souls in one, or
Or at least of two minds or whatever,
of
at
two
least,
minds.
yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Like yeah, so it is two different characters at least, yeah, sort of thing. So yes, but yeah, if it was like put them into like a live action TV show and had them like moving around a bit more, sort of thing, like yeah, and yeah, I definitely would have liked that because I think like if it was live action and he didn't move at all, and it was just the person either doing like a really good like ventriloquist act or a really bad one
Hmm.
and just have the puppet not move at all. It would work equally as good either way.
Yeah, see,
But I
that's
think
where when it's live action, I think it works even
yeah,
creepier.
that it's not moving or that it would be moving.
Well, when it's that just the right balance between not moving and moving. Like that,
Yeah,
like Gotham did a version of it that was really interesting. It was very brief too, because they didn't think they were gonna have enough time to like bring into the series before it ended. And he was very quickly killed off. But I think also it was because even the characters are like, "This is ridiculous. I'm not talking to a dummy."
well, yeah. I think that's like the general consensus of it as all. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but as I said though, like even I think I probably brought it up in the last episode, like with like when people who are like in Canada or in Ontario that I remember at the sock or whatever, like even if it's like something like that, and it has like something with the puppet, and even though like the person's like right there and you see them talk, and you are kind of drawn to talk to to the puppet and like actually talk to it instead of the person, really, sort of thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
imagine being a criminal and being doing that would he'd be like, fuck this, I'm not doing this, fuck you.
Yeah. I'll throw a jar of termites in its face. Yeah, so Selena at first laughs it off, and then she's like, "Okay, so like, what do you want?" And he says, "I thought I'd invite you in on a little job I'm doing. You were just at the museum, and my boys were just doing some reconnaissance, and we were thinking we'd let you have a 50-50 take of the jewelry exhibit. That oh yeah, there was jewels on the side there that she was looking at briefly before she left." And so, how does she? Oh, at first she's thinking like, like I don't want to get in trouble with the law. Like they know I'm Catwoman, so like it's not going to be a good idea. And he's like, "Oh, I thought you want to get back at Breland for killing all those animals." And she's like, "Okay." I'm like, "That's it? Like really? That's all it took?" Like, and plus, she decides to go for the job, but museums have security cameras, right? Like, how's she expecting not to get caught?
Well, and two, I'm kind of surprised that like them knowing that it was Catwoman that they let her into the museum to
That's
begin
a very
with.
good point. Like, no, like,
Now
yeah,
that I'm
like
thinking about it,
you have a parole officer for a reason. Like,
yeah.
but yeah, so she goes home and changes into her costume and is joined by her cat, who again I'm not naming for
Yeah, I know.
obvious
I
reasons.
said, yeah, I would note that it's like still an unfortunately named cat. But to their credit, that group didn't exist or was or at least known at that point. So,
Yeah,
so on their defense, yeah, it was a innocent name at that point.
yeah. I'm leaving Reed and Richard to make those jokes that we can't do.
Well, we could, we're just not going to.
No. So yeah, she goes back to the museum where we have a cameo from Ben Stiller. That would have been awesome if it was voiced by Ben Stiller, but yeah. And he picks up Selena's yeah, anonymously named cat, and who I'm surprised the cat was like willing to play along, like in terms of getting picked up by a random guy, because he's just like, "How'd you get in here?" And he walks off to the office. And Catwoman starts, taking the jewels, and out in the car outside is Scarface and Ventriloquist, and of course they're gonna double cross
Yeah, because they're like, yeah, I think they're like alluding to that, and they shoot a couple of canisters of like smoke, smoke gas or not smoke gas or like
probably tear
like smoke
gas.
bombs, I guess. Or tear gas. There you go. That's what I was trying to. I couldn't figure fucking tear gas into the thing, and then surprises Catwoman and like that sets the alarm and has like the security guys like on her tail and it was weird that like she like noticed and then like decided to like run up the dinosaur skeleton to fucking into like that one random like roof window that was like open
Hmm.
like or that was coincidentally open.
Yeah. Well, any more coincidence? Apparently, that dinosaur is strapped with an explosive that Scarface planted there earlier. I'd love to know how he got that on the dinosaur bone.
Like yeah, like I can the probably the thing was like that they were probably in there during the day and planted it, but like yeah, like if you've ever been to like a museum, like yeah, like that, and if you're like if it's like a even if it's like a fake dinosaur, like museum stuff or like pretty like uptight about like you touching stuff, so like you won't be able to strap like a bunch of explosives onto onto like a dinosaur
It's just
skeleton
a
and
million years old. Come on.
not get noticed, yeah.
Yeah, and even yeah, like all of a sudden, like the thing blows up and like sends like debris of like bones like landing on top of her. Like, I mean, she should be, getting some serious bone damage in that itself. But yeah, the security guy is just like, "Are you okay?" It's like, "Are you okay, dude? she's in the scene of a crime where a dinosaur exhibit just blew up. Like your boss is gonna be pissed. And I think she kind of like takes quick care of him once he gets the dinosaur bone off of her, and she runs back to her apartment to say to her cat like, I guess we're gonna have to leave town. And Batman's like, "You're not leaving." Of course, he's like hiding in the room. Probably not the first time he's hidden in her room, but I digress.
Yeah, so do you think he like figured that was her beforehand, or do you think he followed her
I think he has been keeping an eye on her at least like over the last like 24 hours.
there?
Just one knowing Batman and also it's Catwoman. He's looking out to see what she's up to for more than just criminal reasons. So yeah, he says it's against the law to break into a thing like, "Oh, I thought you were on the straight and narrow." And she says, "Oh, me? No, I was happened to be at the museum and I saw that there was some trouble going around and my costume was in the back of the car and I decided to change into it and get." And like I love how like Batman's just humoring her. Like he's got this smile on his face like, "Uh-huh. Yeah, sure." She's like, "Oh, I know how this makes me sound, but I swear I'm innocent." And for one, either is giving her the benefit of the doubt, or I think he's just like, "Let's see where this goes. Maybe there's a happy ending to this story, if you know what I mean." Bruce get Tinder. So she says like, "Will you be willing to like tell your story to the police?" And she's like, "All right, if I have to." So they go to back to the museum where you think that the security guard would be saying, "Yeah, that's the lady who kicked the crap out of me and tried to steal like diamonds." Like he's a witness.
Or Batman was like before, and he's like, yeah, just play along for right now. We're just gonna see how long it takes her to just go along with this charade before she said she was a part of it.
He just corners him in the hallway. It's like, "Shut up, don't you ruin this for me."
Play along.
Yeah, so she's like, why would they take the animals out? And notices like all the extinct animals are gone. And he's notices that there's like a a false door like right behind the exhibit. And basically like that's how they're able to like kind of sneak the animals out through. It's kind of small though. Like it makes sense for like Scarface and like the ventriloquist on his hands and knees, but like those are big stuffed animals. Like it's kind of hard to like wiggle those through like what looks like pretty much like a big air duct.
But the secret thing was for the lock or something, like wasn't it? Or I thought, or
Oh,
no,
maybe.
or yeah. So yeah,
So
that
they
might have
just
been
walk out
so.
the back? Like
But
again,
yeah,
this place doesn't
but
have cameras.
yeah, but either way, yeah, you think like just walking out at like a museum with like a stuffed like life size stuffed whatever, yeah, like you'd be like, hey, what's that? I'm like, no, I came in with this. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's like, so that's it. Like that's what he was after this whole time. He wanted the stuffed animals. And Batman's like, "What are you saying? I don't think you're telling me the whole story." And she's like, "You know what our problem is? You trust me too much." And then she like scratches him and like
He's
the
like,
this
oh yeah, you let me get a little too close or something
yeah,
like
that was it.
that. Yeah. And then it gives him a kick, I think, right?
Yep. And then we
Yeah,
have this fight on top of Chekhov's humpback whale. As
yeah,
soon as I saw that whale, I'm like, that's absolutely going to be a set piece later.
I know, and it was funny, the one part where she gives her a kick or something, and or she flips and goes flying off the one side, and her scream going off the side was caught me off guard. She was like, "What?" Or whatever it was. It just fucking made me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like when she's like kind of flown over and Batman thinks like, "Oh my gosh, did she like hit the ground?" She's like digging her claws into like the lip of the humpback whale. I don't know why. That imagery is just like funny to me. Like it looks like, like when you go like check in the mirror to see if you got like something hanging out of your teeth, like like a bit of chicken or something. And then she says, oh yeah, so that they fight back on top of the whale because of course she's gonna like get the upper hand, and then she starts scratching the what is presumably hemp rope holding this thing up, which I'm like, this is a humpback whale. You're holding this thing up with rope?
Well, you're not gonna. I never really expect Catwoman to go up there and like cut it with her claws, so like it should be okay.
I guess. The same guys who held up the Jabberwocky in that Mad Hatter episode. It's like, wow, you guys are just begging for accidents. So yeah, the thing swings down and Batman just kind of like takes it for a ride as it's she's making her escape. And she says, I have a date with a scratching post, which I thought was a really good, nice kind of written line.
Yeah,
So I think the next scene is the lumber mill, right?
yeah, like it's that there. Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so like I know like we're supposed to kind of go with the kayfabe of like the ventriloquist and Scarface are two separate people, but like as he's sitting in the office on the phone talking to the Penguin, saying like, "Hey, I thought you might like this dodo I got here," kind of thing. Like how does the ventriloquist hear through like he can't get the earpiece up to his ear? Like how does he know? Because like the phone is up to Scarface's head. Like, does the ventriloquist have like Kryptonian hearing, or is he telepathic?
It just has like a little like Bluetooth
Yeah, there you go.
earpiece just going on, so yeah, so you can hear it. Yeah, so
Either that, or he can like accurately predict like what the penguin's gonna say, or as like he's
Just
just
like yeah, you say, oh, but this is basically how the conversation's going to go. So I'm just going to like pretend, and it just coincidentally lines up, so it sounds like they're actually having a real conversation. Yeah,
yeah, and of course Catwoman brought the cat with her because why wouldn't she? And the cat does like a little, and Scarface overhears it, and he's like, "Actually, you know what, Penguin? I got something else for you. Tasmanian tiger, but I think I might give it to the client who's dying to get her paws on it." And he hits a button, and she like falls onto a conveyor belt.
yeah. And friggin' night like knocks her out and like set, and it's like a conveyor belt saw, and friggin' yeah. So he turns that on, and she starts like going slowly towards that, and it's like damn, Scarface is a bit of a gangster, just friggin' gonna friggin' cut her in half when she's knocked out.
Yeah. Oh, and we'd be remiss if we didn't say his line there. I thought I saw a putty tat. Like really going for it. We gotta max out that IP, guys.
It's under our umbrella. We can reference it. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what it reminds me of is remember the Transformers movie when the Autobots like land on the meteorite and that kid runs out with his cell phone. He's like, "This is easily the coolest thing since Armageddon. I swear." It's like, of course, because Michael Bay directed Armageddon. It's like, I'm so good I reference my own stuff.
Uh, mainly when he said like the Transformers movie, I automatically thought like the animated movie and not the the Michael Way movie. So I was like, that didn't happen in that. Then I was like, oh yeah, that's not the
Yeah.
one you mean.
Oh gosh. So what I was next? Oh yeah. So um, they have like a little confrontation scene at the top there, don't they? Like in the office, because for I don't know why. Like, oh, she manages to just narrowly avoid death. I forget. Oh yeah, because she gets tackled by Rhino, and Or am I missing something? Like, how did this happen? Because there was like a scene where they were kind of like talking about how like he was gonna be, taking the extinction and like basically how he played her for a fool. And
Because I like because when she wakes up and just gets off the thing, gets out of there, that's when like Batman finally shows up because he had a tracker on the cat
that's it.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so so I think so then when he's like helping her, that's I think she goes up and like takes a puppet and like throws it on the conveyor belt too, I think, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because she throws him onto the conveyor belt, and Ventriloquist is like, "What are you doing?" It's like, I'm freeing you from your master. So, uh, she and I love, like, by the way, like, even with the dummy's like mouth not moving, you still hear the voice because like the ventriloquist is obviously like throwing it, which
Yeah,
I thought was a
yeah,
really nice touch.
yeah. Like the puppet's like face towards it. He's like, yeah. It's like, come on, anybody, to help me out here. Yeah, it's
Dummy,
just like,
please.
yeah. Like, how much does that suck? That you're calling yourself dummy?
Yeah. Well, and one thing that I thought was a nice touch too is when he's like on his hands and knees begging for her to, like, save the dummy. And she's like, I don't think so. You guys screwed me over. And like this is one of the few times we see like the ventriloquist go from like the timid kind of kind of personality. Like you see the rage in his face as he lunges for her.
I don't. It's like I don't want to go back to Arkham and have to make another fucking doll, man. That takes forever.
Do you have any idea how many splinters are in my hands, lady? There's more wood than flesh. Yeah, so yeah, at first like he like narrowly manages to stop the blade, and then she's like, "Oh, that's adorable." She hits a switch, and then piles of lumber just crush the dummy to death. If anything, it's probably the least graphic thing we've seen happen to Scarface in this series.
Yeah, I think he gets like destroyed like in every episode he's been in so far, like at the end, right? I think.
Yeah, well, because the
Like,
animators even said like, "We love doing this. Like, we love
yeah.
killing Scarface."
I say yeah, I say yeah. It's like a non-human character, yeah. So they can fucking do whatever they want, yeah. Not have to worry about
Yeah.
censors, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, I wonder what stuff like the censors would have said, like, you can't do that, even for Scarface. Like, I'd be very curious to know where they drew the line on that. It's like you can't shove like TNT into the dummy's mouth and just like, like rattle him up and throw him into traffic. Like,
I feel they'd probably be okay with that,
yeah. Yeah, go nuts. Yeah, did I ever tell you when there was an interview with the Animaniacs creators? They asked them like, "How did you guys get so much stuff past the censors?" And every single time it was like, "I don't know." So it's like again, it's that hilarious thing of like and it's the same network, right? So you got to wonder like who's the guy who just like was letting things slide, like
yeah. Or it's just like some old guy just doesn't get the references, so they just let them go.
yeah. Yeah, because like if for any listeners out there, go check out the Nostalgia Critics top 11 like naughtiest Animaniac moments, and you will be shocked at like the stuff that went past the radar.
Oh yeah, I think it was like yeah. Uh, I probably might have mentioned this in the first like few episodes, but like last March of last year, they had like Animaniacs in concert thing where they had like the two voice actors, like Maurice LaMarche and Robert Paulson, up like doing songs from the show
Hmm.
at Roy Thompson Hall. So I got to me and my girlfriend tickets and went and got saw that, and it was it was pretty sweet. And they did and at one point they did the country name song,
Oh yeah.
So it was pretty rad.
So I think she after that like ventriloquist is like oh yeah, she's not done. At first I thought like well the Scarface is taken care of, but then she's like yeah, I'm not stupid. Like you can blame the dummy, but I'm well aware that you are the person who did this to me. And I love her line where she's actually clawing at his shirt and he's like, it's not me. Scarface is a totally different person. And he's like, yes, but he's inside you, ventriloquist, and I'm gonna claw him out of you. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, yeah, I think Catwoman is definitely not the person to piss off. I think, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This went from kinky to terrifying. And Batman like stops her at the last second, and yeah, he reveals like, I had the tracer on your cat, so like I got your confession, and like it's not his fault that you broke the law. You decided to do this, and she's like, I can't do this anymore, Batman. I've decided like I'm tired of being held by the confines of the law. I will not let this cat be leashed. Dang it! So then she okay. So this is what I found I get what they're going for here, but like there's like a fire where like the log debris on top of Scarface is like, combusted. She picks up the Tasmanian tiger, the stuffed animal, and throws it on the fire and says to Batman, "Look, Batman, it's the last of its kind. Are you really gonna let it, be destroyed? Who is he gonna save? The cat or the lady? Or who are you gonna? Or is it gonna be the cat or the lady? Make your choice." And it's like the last of its kind. It's already extinct. Like it's gonna get more dead. Like what? Like,
Yeah, yeah, like I know where she was kind of going with that, yeah, but the wording was a bit wrong, because it's already dead, yeah, so it's not, yeah, so it's not good. It's like or get more instinct, yeah. So, but
also, you're really like chancing on Batman giving a crap about like an extinct stuffed animal. Like, no, not
yeah,
the taxidermy.
yeah. You're the one that cares about this. Remember
Yeah,
Catwoman, so that's the reason why we're in this mess in the first place. So,
yeah. So of course he goes to save the animal. She like makes her escape, and we have this like scene of him just kind of like sighing in disappointment. He's just like, "What could have been? What could have been?" And then she's off. Like I guess she's a fugitive now. Like because Batman's just. Or do you think he tells Gordon? Like I mean, presumably there's already a police report, right? Like
probably not. I don't think.
yeah. Like, Jim, come on, man. Like, you got to give me this one solid. I don't ask for much, but come on. Why do you think I do this every night? I don't have a wife to go home to. Yeah, I kind of figured. Neither do I.
It's like unless he asks specifically about her, I'm not going to say anything. So yeah, he has to word it
Yeah.
specifically in the way that necessitates me to say anything. But aside from that, I'm not going to tell him about
You
her.
think whenever he like cues up the bat signal and like Batman swings down, it's like, what's the situation? And he says like, Catwoman's about to steal. Does he put his hand over his ears and go, I can't hear you, la 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 la?
Or he just has like a vague idea what Catwoman's up to, and if she's like doing something that night, he's like, I'll just like ignore the hit the back signal and just say
Yeah.
like it's like sorry man. The next time he sees him, he's like sorry I was busy the other night so I couldn't come.
Yeah.
No, knowing full well it was for Catwoman.
Yeah, we have this final shot of Catwoman like in front of the moon saying, "I am the cat who walks by herself." Which again, that's a dumb line. I'm sorry. Like I know what they're going for, but it's like cats don't walk by themselves. Like a cat is not a dog.
Yeah, so would you give this episode out of five cats that walk alone?
I am gonna give it 3 out of 5. It was actually kind of creative, kind of look at how to make like a kind of villain team up for however long that was. And it was a solid Catwoman episode, and I like how it's kind of brought the status quo back to the Batwoman Catwoman dynamic as opposed to like how do we keep her from getting arrested again? It's just like we just don't care anymore. So I liked
Yeah,
I like that. How about you?
Yeah, I think about give it a 3 out of 5 as well. Yeah, because it was a nice yeah, Batman Catwoman episode. And had you seen this episode before?
Nope.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I was just thinking about that as you're going through your thing, and like yeah, I'm not 100% if I had seen this episode before either. Like I don't think I remember it. So so this
That's
might be
honestly
the
been one of the fun parts of this podcast is just like I've never seen this episode before. Like
yeah. So I think this is like what the second episode that both of us like haven't seen.
that sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, I think I'll give it a 3 or 5 as well. Yeah, it was a decent Batman Catwoman episode, and like, and then so he's like a bit of a dumb villain. I always like a Scarface episode.
You might say he's a dummy villain.
Hey, dummy,
Thank you. I'm here
save
all
me,
week.
yeah, save me, dummy. But yeah, I think I'll give it a definite 3 out of 5 as well for this episode. All right, folks, that is the episode for this week. Thanks for joining us in the Batcave to talk about Batman, the animated series. Next week's episode will be Bane. So yeah, so like definitely my first my first with the interaction with Bane, I think was because I think my first the first thing I read of Batman was like a novelization of the Nightfall series, but it was definitely after this episode, I think, yeah. But yeah, you can follow us on Twitter /at Beyond the Backcast, on Instagram at Beyond the Backcast. We are on YouTube now at youtube.com/at Beyond the Backcast. Check us out there. Give us a rate, review, subscribe, like on there or wherever you find your podcasts at Beyond the Backcast. Where can we find you on the internet, Brayden?
You can find me on my podcast, Fandom and Folklore, where we talk about fantasy movies and TV shows and the fandoms that follow them. And if you want to find out more about this show, you can find it on Instagram, Beyond the Backcast, and find our link tree. Go to our Discord. We'd love to talk to you guys about more Batman related stuff.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Stunk Junkman. That is my personal account. And as I said, thanks for joining us in the Batcave to talk about Batman and the animated series at Beyond the Backcast. Goodbye, good chums. Kapow.